there are a lot of weddings in this country. Lots of weddings in Accra. And probably you went for a wedding today. It means lots of folks are getting married. So today we just want to know, is marriage really important? What is it that tickles man? Or what makes a man at a point in time decide, okay, I think I'm ready to settle down? Could it be because of the sex? You want to regularize it and legalize it and make it more frequent? Does it really become frequent after marriage? Well, I have two married men with me today, and we'll dissect and bisect and trisect this matter when we come back. This is another edition of Unscripted Men. Welcome back. This is Unscripted Man. Today, I have two married men with me, and we're going to talk. Let me introduce them first. I have with me Delali, who is not new to this table, and Kofi Gbedemah, very popular on Facebook. Gentlemen, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Glad to be back again.
All right, so
I'm popular everywhere.
you're popular everywhere, from Sokoto to... I like your school. What was the name of the school in Nigeria?
Zaria Children's School.
It's got some funny, nice ring to it, you know? Anytime yeah. Anyway, good to see you again. How's your family?
I do very well.
Nice. So tell me, at what point did you decide, okay, enough of the groupies, enough of the weekend stayovers and all that, and all of the threesomes? Really? And decide, okay, I want to make this a one song with this one person for the rest of my life.
I felt it on three reasons. Is it three? When I felt I was growing older, I had made up my mind to have a family at a certain age.
Okay.
And thirdly, I think I needed to have regular, legalized sex.
Are you sure this sex is regular after marriage?
It was actually me. I've always said it, and I'll continue to say it. That don't worry, don't push yourself. After marriage, you have it yourself 24/7. If he says
right.
come, no man will get it 24/7, 7 days a week. 24 hours a day? It's a big scam. So if you are going into marriage with the mind of having sex on a regular every single day, forget it. At least at most, carrot in the 4 times in a week, they are good to go.
You should be lucky, yeah?
Yeah, you should be.
So, Kofi, what happened to you? What got you thinking you should settle down?
The fact is, I never really wanted to get married in the first place.
Oh, really?
Yes. And that's why I make such a big deal out of being married now, because I was a party guy.
Okay.
And there's this very popular expression that if you get the cow for free, why buy the milk?
True.
Or if you get the milk for free, why buy the cow? I mean, it works both ways. So I had an abundant supply of milk. I didn't see the reason to buy a cow.
I can relate.
But it gets to the point where you want the cow not just for the milk, but probably, for the beef. But just to put it clearly, everybody has an aha moment or a eureka moment or a point in time where something just tells you, you never wanted this, but look at the person you are with now. Look at the characteristics she exhibits. And for the purpose of this discussion, I'm keeping marriage, the definition of marriage, to between two heterosexuals. I don't want us to venture into the field of the other alphabets
people. Yeah.
Good. So just to get that clear. So the person you are with exhibits a lot of characteristics you find desirable. They share philosophies you thought other people didn't have. And then you sometimes, like some of us who are analytic, You can draw a list, and I want to use a big word, juxtapose it against our requirements. And for me, when the list hits above 70%,
You check out.
you just and that applies to almost everything I do in life. Once I hit the 69 to 70% mark for whatever decision I'm trying to do, with whatever analysis I'm doing, I just go for it.
I also realized that at the point, I'm somebody who loves communication. I believe in two-way communication, that kind of thing. But I also realized that an increased sense of friendship had developed
Between you and
between me and my wife.
Okay.
Unlike, other relationships I've had in the past, an increased sense of friendship had developed. And in as much as I always believe in friendship, even in the relationship, I saw a difference in the kind of friendship I had with my wife. So I was like, well, I drew this philosophy of my own. I don't know whether anybody else.
You guys are very romantic. Philosophy,
Oh, no,
the
no,
love
no.
just got you guys
I
philosophizing.
do this thing. I said, you can be in love with somebody and not be happy, but you can't be happy with somebody and that love will definitely, even if you're not so much in love with the person, but there's joy whenever you see that person. It develops naturally and you guys just flow. So that is what I saw, and that's what actually led me to making that bold decision.
So, which leads me to the next. I was wondering, is marriage a necessity? For a man, is it a necessity, or is it a choice a man also makes about
It's a
settling down?
choice. You decide.
You just
Like I said,
It's a choice.
It's a choice, right?
Yes.
I was of the view that I needed to have a family at a certain age.
Did you have your family bugging you? You're getting old.
That's for that one. When you're
You're getting
going,
old. You should marry. You should settle down. Enough
I
of the girls. What do we
got
get?
married at the age of 38.
Okay.
So definitely, I would be getting the. When are you getting married? When are you getting married? But it didn't bother me because I felt I wasn't, or I felt, even though I wanted to do it, not like the person too had not, appeared, but I don't know. For my wife, honestly, I met her on Facebook. She just appeared and then we jived, and then it just happened. Even though I wanted to do it, there was probably somebody I wanted to do it with, but unfortunately, it didn't get to
funny
that.
reason.
So for some funny
So you
reason,
hit a DM and then one thing led to another.
one thing led to another, and then within a year,
Or two.
we were done.
You were legalizing it.
Yes,
Yeah.
but not getting it as you see. So I believe that it's a choice. There are some men who believe that, look, like Kofi said, I'm getting the whole lot. Do I have to go and buy the cow? The thing is free. Yes, I mean we've lived that life. When you live life on the fast lane, sometimes some things committing becomes so difficult. There are some men who actually can't commit, so they wouldn't even venture the marriage.
Is there something like an age where beyond which it becomes difficult for a man to also settle down?
No.
Or can a man marry at any point in time?
I don't believe so. And that's why I place a lot of emphasis on philosophies, because philosophies never die. Another big word, extenuating circumstance does.
I should start bringing a dictionary.
But philosophies don't die. And I firmly believe that if you know what your philosophies are, you would always find yourself in the right place. Now, if you are attracted by physical attributes, we are all privy to the fact that physical attributes change over time.
Yeah.
And the thing that was firm before will become floppy. And the thing that was standing, gravity will start to work on it.
Yes.
So basically,
I don't want to imagine what the thing is.
rockets, stones in mango trees. When you throw it, it fall.
It will fall down. That is stays up in the air forever.
Yes. So if you're attracted to ripe mangoes, what happens when the mangoes begin to rot? You then say you don't like it. But if you are attracted to the philosophy of a mango, it never dies. So that helps you, especially for relationship issues and relationships friendships, parenthood, wife, husband relationships. When you have philosophies guiding you, you stay longer because you are being guided by something that is not physical.
Okay.
So, to answer your question, sorry, I went a bit around a bit, but to answer your question, that is why, for me personally, I don't think there is or there should be an age,
A cut-off age.
a cut-off age for getting married. If you meet the person who clicks for you at 92, you marry at 92, you can die at 93.
Yeah.
But you die with a sense of fulfillment.
Yeah.
But if you think you are running against the clock and you get married at 23, you will suffer until the 92. Maybe you not even get to the 92, you die at 94. So for that, philosophies are always important. Know why you are getting married and make sure it's not for a physical reason. And that's for me.
Wow, we are getting philosophical here on this table. But do we have this thing where men, sometimes, you have these scenarios where maybe a man and a girl or a woman, they've moved for some time, and one person becomes pregnant, and we know who becomes pregnant in that relationship. Is it that there's this you are compelled, or this unwritten code that once the girl is pregnant and you are responsible, you are the goat responsible for that pregnancy, you definitely have to marry this lady? Is that way of getting married?
I think he made that mistake once.
Okay. It's a mistake.
I feel it would have been a mistake of my life. I can't tell. The future has actually showed things, and so I feel probably I would have made a mistake of my life.
Okay.
And somehow I thank my parents for not giving in to my pressures, because I felt I should marry once I had made it.
Well, why do you feel like that?
Well, I felt it wasn't society. I just felt that I had to be responsible for my actions. Sometimes when you are young like that, you are too known. Sometimes when you are young like that, you are too known. Here you are, a young guy. I felt I was old. I was 27 at the time, so I felt I was old. But at the time, unfortunately, I was in school, and should I say, due to some one or two reasons, my parents were footing my school fees and bills and everything for me at the time. So they were like, very instructive of whatever I had to do. I felt my mom was going a little out of place to insist that I don't marry, but I don't do some things which will pertain to marriage just because I had made somebody pregnant. I didn't understand her from the start, but as I grew older, I understood that, probably what I'm going through now or things I have seen would have even been worse. So, pregnancy does not mean you should go and marry the person by force. That is if you don't think that the two of you, just that it's nice.
But my mom used to say something back when I was in school, that this is really what they said when I got into the university. That okay, fine. See, we are not saying don't go and chase girls, because you see a lot of girls on campus. But just make sure that the girls you chase are girls. If they got pregnant, you could marry them.
Okay, that's okay. But you see, that society has become some way now. You make a girl pregnant, and then you have some reality check, and you find out that this must have made her pregnant.
The pregnancy clears things from her head.
Yeah, things are not the way they look like. Then there's a mind change here and there. But some people are, straightforward. They're up to the task. They do the deed, get the woman pregnant, and go ahead and then, honor her by marrying her. I feel it shouldn't be a pressurized thing. You shouldn't be pressured to do that. It should come out of your own will. If you wouldn't do it, you wouldn't do it. You wouldn't be arrested for anything. All you just do is take care of your kids. That is if you decide not to marry the woman after you made her pregnant. But it is just an honorable thing if you don't leave her hanging dry after enjoying yourselves, and then she getting pregnant, and then you feel that she's it's the same.
Do you think that do men enjoy the whole getting married process? Do we really enjoy it? Because usually when couples are preparing to get married, it's always about the woman, and then the gown. She's talking about the gown. She's talking about the dress. She's talking about the shoes. And then how she's going to look like, the makeup and all that. And do we also enjoy it? It's like marriage, the whole getting married, it's more about the woman. Do we enjoy the process?
I think we do. I think we do.
The
And
little.
it depends again on where you derive your pleasure from.
Yes.
Me, when I see my wife or my wife to be happy, doing things that make her happy, then I'll be directly happy. Except, of course, when what she's doing will be injurious to her. But men, I think, more laid back when it comes to highly emotional things. We tend to just take a back seat and allow the men to do their thing. But if, again, you are like me, you derive pleasure from watching your woman get happy.
Yeah.
When she's running around and preparing for it, yes, you derive pleasure from it. You're like, hey, Charlie, we party with again. You party with again. I'll be King Kong.
For me,
It's a good feeling.
I think when it was my turn, I didn't understand myself. I was like, why should I, even though I wasn't that, giddy about it, but I had this sense of excitement going down. So I think it got to the point, my mom was like, hey, what's that? We are married, no me, sure you pee. Okay.
You have to translate that.
Okay. What she said was, I'm going to get married and I'm so excited. And I was like, I bet no know. That's what you always wanted. Yeah, but it's not about what I want, it's about what you want. And I was like, yes, means small. No, you want me to my fee. It's like, anyway, it's true. And yes, most of the time, if you are really interested in doing it, you will be excited about the whole process. If you are not, some men, they get married not really because they want to get married, but because probably they've been in a relationship with a girl for a very long time, and then there's this pressure coming from the girl, pressure coming from their parents here and there. It's not that they felt, I am ready, I want to do it, I'm taking the mantle, or I'm taking the bull by the horn and going for it. That's a different ball game altogether. That one, honestly, you wouldn't be, you have this cool feet or lackluster attitude. If you're really interested in it, you go in head on. Because I remember, I chose the gun with my wife. Even though I didn't see it, I didn't look at it.
Okay.
We sat down, went on to the net. I was like, I like this one. I told her the type of gun I wanted. I said I wanted a short gun. I didn't want the long, coming everybody
that you could possibly trip on.
I wanted something different. So we went online, looked for it together. When they bought it there, that one day, she didn't allow me to see it. I didn't really bother me. Then we come to the other processes. We sat down, thought about it, and there was some fluidity in it. Yes, there was some fluidity in it. It's not like I was pushed or anything. But like I said, it's different with everybody.
And that's why I also think somehow or the other way, I think we skipped a process in this discussion, which is to have actually looked at the reasons for getting married. Because there are a list of them, and of course, when you analyze the list, you then come to the realization that some of the reasons would make you excited, and some of the reasons would not.
Kofi,
so, for instance,
if you could just hold on, we'll be right back, and then you give me all the list, part of the list that made you so excited about getting married, and then those that you're like, what the hell is going on here? All right, so this is still Unscripted Men. We'll be right back. So, welcome back. It's been a very interesting conversation so far. Before we went on the break, Kofi, you were talking about some of the reasons why men decide to marry. So, can you pick up from there?
Okay, so let's start from, let's say, a few thousand years back. One of the reasons was to consolidate political power or territories. And I think that was one reason, or the foremost reason for someone like Solomon, who got married to so many women.
So many of them.
People think it was purely romantic or emotional thing, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was more to it was more of a strategic reason.
Political alliance.
To get access to ports, to spices, to
It's
gold.
still happening now.
Yes. So we have that, okay, to consolidate political power or territories. Then secondly, for children.
Yeah.
Like you said, some people are also, again, philosophies. That is how come someone can decide to get married to someone simply because the person is pregnant for them. Because that person has sworn that, as for me, they die, I'm not going to have children outside marriage.
Yeah.
So immediately there's a child, there must be marriage. So that is the second reason. Then we are getting into the more ethereal reasons. That's for love and for companionship. Somebody says, I love you, I've been with you for X, Y, we gel, we are fine. It would be nice to get married to you. So for love and companionship, I put the two together. And then for sex. Yes. Somebody feels, it's nice when you are a young man and you have many girls. That man is a brand new, he's a hard guy. He's a chicks with the phone. And when you're young and you're doing certain things, it's admirable, quote unquote. But when you're 42 and you're hanging outside and cry girls. It sounds nice. Yes.
Why a ring and do that? If I think you are without a ring, you know why.
I disassociate myself from that statement. So the thing is, there are things that when you are doing, and it's just with the natural flow of life, rites of passage. There are things that when you do at 28, they're admirable. When you are trying to do those same things at 42, you look at it and say, are you useless? So I think having indiscriminate sex is one of those things.
Exactly.
When you're having sex with many different people and it's so visible at 42, 43, it's an ISO. I mean, let's just call it
Indiscriminate sex. Is that sex without discrimination?
Yes, that's sex without discrimination.
To color, to
blonde, brunettes, black, red, tall, short, white.
And then so when you do that, and then the day you announce that you decided you're getting married, you can just imagine the number of people always saying hallelujah.
Finally.
Yes.
So that is it for to have sex. Then finally, not finally, for legal status and financial security. This is again closely linked to the first one I said of consolidating political power. Now everyone knows that with these modern laws that we have, when you get married to somebody, you have consolidated your financial strengths. Immediately you get married, anything you possess or you purchase after that marriage automatically becomes both of yours. There's no way around that, it's yours. So you can think that, okay, I have a set of skills, she has a set of skills. When we merge, synergize, bring our skills together, we would move
You have bigger force.
Yes, the bigger force. Exactly. So you are bringing the money, she's bringing the ideas. She's bringing the money, you're bringing the ideas. And then you realize that with that you have financial security, you have something to look forward to when you grow old. You have a source of income that is never ending. For reasons like that, people just ask some people watch a certain person, has friends, I want to marry this man.
The money is good.
And then the last two, sorry, I thought I was in the last one. The last two is again for religious beliefs. This is also closely tied with the last point I make. So people feel that once you're a Christian, once you're a Muslim, at a certain stage, you must be married. And again, we who have looked at it from a more worldly point of view have ascribed the other reasons to it. But again, religion has also taken note of those reasons. And I just to put it into religion, but married is like you cannot be walking around single because you become a nuisance or a menace to society.
And so we have a lot of singles in church and there are
Exactly. Yes.
church programs
Yes.
and praying and fasting and clapping their hands
Absolutely.
together.
Absolutely. And most of these reasons are for the ones they want all these things to happen within a certain confine.
But what's the role of love in all this?
I'll
Now,
come to that.
love-
Let me give the last one.
Okay.
And then the final reason is again because of peer pressure.
Okay.
All your friends
Are getting married.
So,
And you're walking around.
you're walking around.
Yeah, all your friends.
Not
are
responsible.
Yeah.
So that is it. So yes, those are the reasons. So to link it to what we were saying before I gave the reasons, if you are able to list these reasons. You can see the ones that you'll be happy to enter. I mean, if you have an impression of having an ending sex, you'll be happy entering the marriage because you know you
So
have
it's a scam.
Yeah, that's after the fact.
After entering,
But
then you
when
find out
you are
that-
entering, you'll be excited. Naturally, you'll be excited because the reason you think you are going in to you is a good reason.
Yes.
So that's why I'm saying the reasons most often will define the feeling at. Now, if you've gotten someone pregnant and because you're holding on to a philosophy, it's not really because you're into the person. You feel some apprehension entry, but because your philosophy is stronger than your apprehension, you say, no, it doesn't matter. I might not like it, but I have to marry her because I've gotten a pregnant. That's why you're feeling
You don't like it.
exactly
but
what
it's
I
good enough
just have to. Oh.
you didn't like it enough to marry,
yeah.
but it's good enough to eat it.
Yes, there are people like that.
Okay.
We don't.
Let's call it leaders. There are people like that. Let's not start that discussion now because then we're not finished today. So then I'm just tying it in with that. So yes, when you analyze the reasons, you can analyze the reaction for entering the association or the relationship or the marriage. So
Great. Counseling. I have been to 2 counseling. Some years back, I was planning to get married. I didn't end up marrying that woman. Okay, and then years down the line, I married somebody else. Are there some things you wish you were told at counseling, or you were told at counseling, which really was too long and not really the reality on the ground, or some things they didn't tell you there that you found out for yourself after being married?
One thing is they didn't tell you that you have continuous sex. That one, you never see it. But like you said, you went to counseling with somebody. I also did that once.
Okay.
And for me, it's a good thing, and sometimes they hold back facts. It actually depends on the counselor. There's some people who bear facts with you. There are some who hold the facts and expect you to probably learn it on the job. And for me, those who tell you the bare facts, I believe they do a good job in that field, and they help the couple grow.
Okay.
Those who do it haphazardly and don't come out fully with everything, they are the ones that, if you look at the statistics, you find that those who go through those kind of counseling, their marriages, if they are not, their maturity level, or should I be using maturity level? The 2 individuals concerned, if they have not, psyched their minds that, look, come hell or high water, they're going to do the thing, they're going to go to whatever. After a few years, give a couple of 4 years, they are started. Because there's a lot of information in it that if these counselors give to, the
faint-hearted.
not even faint-hearted or the wannabe couple, sometimes just by telling them the nitty-gritties of it, you ask yourself, am I
Do you still want to continue?
Because it was through counseling that I got to know that no, I can't marry this one. Okay. The first one. It was through counseling. Honestly, I went 1, 2, 3, the man was bare facts. And I told myself that this is not for me. So I stepped out. You get my point? So even though the second one was good, but I won't say it was. But
What's his name?
I'm telling you, past.
but I believe that it's probably because the 2 of us, we had our minds made up, and we're not probably talking to us who were getting to that stage. We're already in advanced ages, so we knew that look, this is where we're going, and after our experiences in the past, we know that we are not going to mess ourselves up. Even though some people do know, but we know what we are about, and we know.
So on my side, are there some things you wish you knew before you married?
Honestly, I think I pretty much covered everything.
Okay.
So I don't have any mood shocks. Because like I told you, I had 1,000,001 reasons for not wanting to. So those reasons were all overturned when I decided.
You decided to.
So basically, no.
There's this new thing here. Now, 10 years down the line, 10 years ago, social media was not a big part of our lives as it is now. Our parents really had, it's like cooking soup, eh? You just look in your pot, and that was it. You're contented with whatever soup you were cooking in your kitchen. That was it. You had no advantage of looking at somebody else's soup pot to compare what they're eating at home. But thanks to social media, we know what anybody else is eating at any particular time. We now have varieties, we're engaging with lots of different people now, more than before. And so I always have this philosophy, when we borrow your word, that now than before, people have the leisure to, as it were, compare partners. You know, so you're married, somehow you're engaging with a lot of other people online. So you can understand and see their philosophy and get where they're coming from. And somehow do an unconscious comparison to partner. Okay. So what I'm leading to is this. Having been married for some time, would you consider polygamy? If you could.
If I could.
Okay. Now you have exposure, there's exposure to a lot of people. You know how somebody else is out there. Would you like to add one more? Would you like to maybe two more? Okay. Or go the Solomon way?
If for me, I don't know for everybody. I know my wife will be watching this.
I'm going to tag your wife.
Sure. But I believe that, you see, one reason why I believe polygamy was good is, you know, there are bad sides to everything. It's good and it's bad. I take sex for instance. A man is always giddy up, ready to go. Women are not always ready, giddy up to go. So, and you can never have two women who are not giddy up, ready to go at the same time. You see? And me, the reason why a man will go for polygamy is basically sex.
Sex.
Because probably this woman is not giving it to him as much as he wants. And he knows that he likes his sex. So definitely the other woman would not agree. The other woman would not say that because this woman is not in the mood, she should not be in the mood to do it. No. That is one of the reasons why. So for me, if I had my own way and I could do it, yeah, just because of that. But otherwise, because of sex. Because, if it is every other thing, the one wife is capable of doing every other thing. But it is sex that is probably, because entering into marriage got me to know that I won't have my sex every day. Every time I want it. At times when she come and say she's not in the mood, you can't do it. You understand? But then if you had another wife,
Spare.
not spare, I said wife. There's a difference between a spare. If I had another wife, when this one is not in the mood,
Chances are
she'll be in the mood. Let me get what I want. Because my sex is very important to me too. It's as simple as that.
Kofi, if she said she was not in the mood and you can't do foco, like Paula Foco,
Hey,
will that be enough reason for you to add a second one?
No. And I'll tell you why. Like my very good friend here, I like my sex back. And
that's key with a lot of A.
So you get married to someone who understands this is what you like. Now we must also understand, and I have been able to conceptualize to understand that we are not always in the mood for whatever. Sometimes you're not even in the mood for parenting, for crying out loud. But you have to parent. So if you have that in the back of your mind, and it is not such a habitual thing, let some of these things slide. If it hasn't become a thing that you are now frustrated with her responses, can let it slide.
Yeah,
Because being human, we are not all of us are not up and running at optimal all the
That's
time.
true. You definitely, when you enter, you know very well that she's human just like you.
Just like you.
Just that, women, we have
Right.
a very, insatiable desire when it comes to sex.
And coupled with that, I've had, as you very well know, I mentioned from the beginning of the program, I spent most of my growing life in Nigeria, and not just Nigeria, in the north, where it was predominantly Islamic. And even as a child, I lived on a university campus where you had professors who were polygamous, and you lived in one house with your two wives. And even as a child, I was privy to some of the conflicts.
That's the downside of
And that thing left an indelible mark on my memory.
Yeah.
I see how the women fight, and most of the time they fight when the man is at work. When we're on holidays, long fight. Then the fight ratio.
Fight pie then.
Yes. Then there are times the women, and of course, we were friends with all the children. And there are times one of the mothers has to travel, do something and not be there. And the other wife, you see how the other wife treats the other children. So some of those things made me very careful to put a block on polygamy in my mind, because it's not worth it. I don't see why maybe 2-3 minutes of whatever pleasure should have, because let's admit
That's the biggest reason why I would not do that.
in that chain reaction that you probably have no control over after you have entered it.
Yeah.
So it has never. And me, no, I don't like it. I will not.
2-3 minutes of unbridled sex.
Yes.
It's not enough to make Kofi Gbedemah decide to marry a second wife.
Me too. Scrap of
You can take that to the bank.
Yeah, scratch it.
I was going to mention a back, but they are not sponsoring it. All right, so we have Unscripted Men some questions for us. Ikea Emina wants to know, why do men do all the wrong things when they have a good woman? Ikea, are you a good woman?
Can she be explicit on what is wrong?
Why do men do all the wrong things when they have a good woman?
Let me just.
What's the
Let
definition of
me just get this out. Generalizations are not my thing. And if you feel everybody is doing the wrong thing, then I think maybe you have to look in the mirror, because there's no realistic situation like that.
What are the odds that all the men?
All the men
And also, you have to also be explicit on exactly what is wrong. What you mean by wrong.
I think we should move to the next question.
Next question. What are the signs that a man loves you? Brings you flowers?
No.
Okay. We don't do flowers in Ghana.
No.
Yeah.
We do more in the watching.
Yeah.
But consideration. And that is, you see, let me go. We have found ourselves where we are very quick to equate money to affection and love. It's a dangerous and slippery path anyone can go down.
Mm-hmm.
Because, let me be flippant, anybody can make money if you put your mind to it. But after you made the money, it's not everybody who can show compassion and affection and consideration. So, unfortunately, a lot of people today are not looking out for those softer traits in the relationship. It's all about the money. So, after money has done all it can do, they finally realize that money cannot do everything after all. But a lot of times, that realization comes too late. So, you look for someone who's affectionate, who's compassionate, who feels for you. When you say Ajay, he quickly wants to find out what is wrong with you and try and stop the Ajay from recurring. So I think those to me, those are what
Money
really matters.
is not everything, but if you're poor, money can't do anything. But still, money does not mean that I love you.
No, it doesn't. Most of the time it doesn't. It's
I
just
can use money to
transactional.
actually get
Exactly.
you.
And then
And then after
that,
I've got you,
yes.
what next? Nothing. But my affection towards you, how I relate towards you, how I listen to what you see, sometimes what you're saying is crap, but I still
empathize, being able to empathize with the person.
And the communication line, if it's fluid, two-way, you do the check-ins and check-outs and all that kind of thing. I believe that is because if a man doesn't check in with you all the time, or a woman doesn't check in all the time, sometimes it's because you're like, why are you? It's one of the most annoying questions to be asked. But if you don't feel bothered with the why are you, or you are going somewhere, oh, see that I'm going to this place, even if it is just a school, there's this feeling, oh, he's watching, that's thought, or dream, that kind of thing. That is some of the telltale signs that you can use to see that.
All right. So it's not all about the money. It's not all about the
scratch it in
momo, but it's about the care, it's about the compassion, it's about the consideration. That is what Kofi and Delali are telling me today. We should look out for in the man who tells the ladies that they love them. This has been another edition of Unscripted Men. Thanks again, Delali. Thanks again, Kofi. This has been Unscripted Men. My name is Lorm. We'll talk again.